Good morning. Let's take a gander at the 12th Homage to Tade. Homage to you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. From your hairnet Amitabha shines eternal with great beams of light. So let's focus on, there's basically two distinct different ideas in each couplet. So let's hit the first couplet. Homage to you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. In Buddhist iconography, the crescent moon reminds us of compassion. There is a phrase used in Mahayana Buddhism, bodhicitta, which could be translated into English as mindset of enlightenment. So there's two major categories. You have ultimate bodhicitta and conventional bodhicitta. Ultimate bodhicitta is Buddha's wisdoms of letting go. Conventional bodhicitta are Buddha's techniques to generate compassion and love, both in motivation and in action. Many practitioners are more focused on the wisdom trainings than they are on the compassion and love trainings. Oh, sure, they give them lip service maybe in their dedication of virtuous merit, but the majority of their training is on the mind. We need both. I'm reminded of Za Putru Lunpoche's text, which is essentially a Lam Rim text, and it's found in Dilgo Khyentse's commentary, The Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. The extensive title is, in English, is The Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones, the practice of view, meditation, and action that is good in the beginning, middle, and end. That's a mouthful, so I like Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. That's a little shorter. Basically, and a verse he says that, I'm going to paraphrase it horribly, compassion is the one path trodden by all the Buddhas. The inference is that there's only one road to take us to full enlightenment. That road is the path of compassion. Without compassion, we won't be able to be our wisdom trainings will not be truly transformative, and we will not gain the complete mastery that is required for full enlightenment. According to many great scholars, including the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet, there is the most efficient way to generate massive amounts of good karma through the mental yogas, the heart yogas of love and compassion. This is inferred in the second line of the first couplet when it says, all your adornments are dazzling bright. Why? Why is green Tade so radiant? Because of the splendor of her love, because of the glory of her compassion. A story is told by one of my teachers that in one of his lifetimes, prior to the lifetime when Gautama became Buddha, there was a being in hell, and him and another being had an eternity much like Sisyphus, pushing boulders up mountains until they were overcome by exhaustion, and the boulders would crush them and roll back down. So that's how they were spending eternity, according to this rather grisly story, which may or may not be apocryphal. One day, according to the teacher, the Buddha, before he was Buddha, let's call him the pre-Buddha, the pre-Buddha's companion perished and was crushed before him. Now, what I failed to mention was that after they were crushed by the boulders they were pushing, the demons would flail them to death. And, but one day, the pre-Buddha rose to his companion's defense and put himself between his crumpled body and his assailants. And the demons completely lost their minds at this and beat the pre-Buddha so savagely that he not only died, but he took rebirth in the human realm. And my teacher's point was this: that it was the very great karma generated by just a moment's compassion that saved the pre-Buddha from hell itself. We are fundamentally selfish creatures. Look at our brain stems. Look at the seat of instinct. It's all about self-preservation. As Jeff Bloom's character in The Fly explained in the, early 80s, there are no insect ambassadors. There are no reptilian diplomats. The reptilian mind, the brainstem, is very, very self-centered and vicious and cruel. You know, I will copulate. I will feed. I will fight. I will flee. I will faint. It's all about me, 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 I. And the intention to break free from that self-centered momentum is so powerful. It generates so much good karma. It changes everything. And forgive me if this sounds cliche, but it is the ultimate game changer. Earth has a 100% mortality rate. It's not a question of if we die, but merely when and how. When the time comes to perish, I choose to do so with compassion and love in my heart. I choose to honestly and with vulnerability face whatever squirrely emotions manifest and use them to take away the sufferings of others. It is that type of vulnerability that sets the stage for the most productive practice of transcendental wisdom, the wisdom of letting go. And ironically, it's that type of good karma that's generated from that love and compassion that fuels the truly productive practice of wisdom. Let's explore the second couplet. From your hairknot, Amitabha shines eternal with great beams of light. Now, a fundamentalist would tell you that Green Tare is, of course, an emanation of Chenrezig. She's no different than Chenrezig, and therefore Chenrezig's teacher is her teacher. But I'm not a fundamentalist, I'm a liberal, so I'll tell you this. Here's how it seems to me and my fellow liberals. That the description of Green Tara as emanation of Chenrezig is a metaphor. Chenrezig is her teacher. By embracing her teacher's blessings and by applying her teacher's instructions, she accomplished what her teacher accomplished, as if she was his emanation. It's a metaphor, a very beautiful, empowering metaphor. Chenrezig had Amitabha on his crown or above his crown, depending upon which painting or sculpture you're working with, as a description or a reference to the devotion to his teacher. In this case, we see it as a commentary on the intimacy between Green Tare and Chenrezig, because she had completely embraced Chenrezig's blessings and Chenrezig's instructions. She identified with his devotion to his teacher. So just as teachers devoted to his teacher, we're devoted to teacher's teacher, just out of love and devotion. It's contagious. Gratitude is contagious. But let's take this a step further. One of the cool things about visualizing Amitabha above the head is it reminds us of Powa, which is the dependent term for the completion stage version of transference of consciousness. Some people call this Ati Yoga, or from the stage Ati Yoga. And basically this idea at the time of death, using one's intention, using one's good karma, using one's channels and one's own drops to eject one's subtle mind up one's central channel, out the top of one's head, and into the heart of one teacher located an arm's length overhead, representing the ultimate Pure Land, the Dharmakaya. Now, a fundamentalist will tell you that the Pure Land is a place, it's a Buddha's paradise comprised of light, many, very, very far away. And from that place, you can complete your Dharma teachings if you haven't already done so, and bless many people. From a liberal point of view, we say, well, the fundamentalist view may be true, and that would be lovely. But even if it's not, it could also refer to simply taking auspicious rebirth in a place where all one's circumstances line up to support one's continued Dharma training. And we could even dial it down a bit more and say it might not even refer to rebirth. It might refer to simply experiencing one's present circumstance in a way that's utterly conducive to our study of Dharma, our practice of Dharma in this life. Folks, Buddha taught that full enlightenment can be accomplished as little as 7 years, or 7 months, or 7 weeks, or even 7 days. These techniques are not weak, flaccid, or impotent. They are powerful. They are transformative. If the system of practice that you're using is not rapidly transforming you, then it's time to find another system. So, the transference of consciousness is a wonderful metaphor that this life, or could be a wonderful metaphor that this life could have everything you need in it to accomplish the path now, to attain the accomplishment of an arhat, and that being profound resilience of mind and emotion, and the accomplishment of a Buddha. You know, the spontaneous, habitual, easy, and effective mastery of Buddha's mental yogas of devotion, awareness, love, and letting go. Put it together, what do you get? Green taught is love and compassion can carry us to enlightenment in this life, and if you're not careful, this year. So have fun on your journey to full enlightenment, the enlightenment of an arhat and the enlightenment of a Buddha in this year, through your cunning use of Chakchen, also known as Mahamudra, and Lam Rim, also known as stages of the path. I'm going to read this to you now or recite this to you now in the bookend chant. Homage to you with crescent moon crown, all your adornments dazzling bright. From your head on Amitabha shines you tuned with great beams of light. I'm going to remind you to click the subscribe. Click the subscribe button, and the like button and the share button. So you can click the the Facebook button and the Twitter button. All this clicking. I want you to be a clicking fool. I look forward to working with you at the next series of weekly webinars. Until then, may you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Tadi Tutade Ture Soha.